Have you ever seen Sydney from a 747 at night? Yeah.
Hey, second Northmead Cubs, how are you? We're in my backyard at the moment. Welcome to my backyard. I think some of you have been to my house before. This is my backyard, and I'd like to take you down and show you a compost bin, okay? And I'm going to ask you some questions, again, for you to write in the comments or send me an email. So I want you to pay attention because there's some questions at the end, okay? So come on down, okay? I have two compost bins at the moment. Come on over and take a look. My first compost bin is my fresh compost, okay? So what I do is, actually I have it right here. See this rope here? That way I can throw the things I want to put in off the balcony. So in my compost bin right now, take a good look in there. It's pretty stinky, isn't it? Okay. I have a lot of things in here, and I'm going to run through some of the stuff that goes in my compost bin. First of all, I put lots of food scraps in there. If we have a look at that, there's bits of orange and bits of, that looks like onion skin. I put a lot of eggshells, basically leftover food. Now, food breaks down, but not so quick. One of the mistakes that I make, see that? That's a sticker that comes off kiwi fruit. Now that hasn't broken down, whereas the kiwi fruit skin itself has broken down. So this is like stage one, basically. What I do is I mix in here leftover food, and I come over here, I put in a lot of dead grass clippings. I get my grass clippings from here, and I wait till the grass clippings are all dead. And I put the live ones in there. Look at that, there's a bug there. Should we eat him? Here you go. Ah, just kidding, I'm not going to eat him. Okay, so once the grass clippings are dead, I throw them in there. I try not to throw any large sticks into the compost bin, but I leave this in here, and then I have a special tool over here that I use to turn the compost bin over. So with this special tool, it's got a gunk all over it at the moment, but I put it in, twist it, come have a look at this, and I turn it over. Okay, so my first question for you, look at me, is this. What kind of food would you put in your compost bin? Think about the food that you eat. What would you put in your compost bin? Okay, and these are all things that you would eat on a daily basis. Write them down either in the comments or send me an email. But I'm going to come over to my second compost bin. After my compost has been in here for about 2 or 3 months, I bring it over to here. Now this compost bin is much more broken down. You'll see there's a few sticks and things in here that I don't need. But if you have a look at this here, it's almost become dirt. Okay, you can still see some eggshells probably in there and some remnants of food. But this is very much broken down, and this is almost ready to put on the garden. Now, something really useful to put in, you can see I've just put some in this morning. This white stuff here is ash. They suggest that you put ash or lime into the compost bin so that you can so that it breaks down better. So there you go. This here, if you have a look, there's lots of animals in here as well, lots of little moving creatures and bugs and things that they're responsible for breaking it down. If you have bugs creeping and crawling around in your compost, then you're doing a good job. Okay, that means that it's working. So this compost bin here is almost ready to go onto my garden, and this makes great compost for my garden. Now there is one more thing that I'm going to show you over here, and this is a worm farm. I have a little worm farm going on in here, and that's this one here. Now if you have a look in here, we'll lift up this, there is a whole bunch of worms under here partaking of this yummy food. Have a look at all the worms, guys. Now, different to the compost bin, I can throw a lot of scraps of food into here, but I can't throw onion skin into the compost bin. Onion skin is one thing that we don't want to put in. And citrus as well. Strong citrusy food we don't put into the compost. Okay, so look, orange and mandarin we avoid as well. But anything else, they absolutely love to eat fruit, especially watermelon. They just love the watermelon. And I have 3 layers of this. If we lift this one up, you can see that under here there's another layer. Have a look at all the worms there. So these guys are happily, merrily eating away. And look at me. And they do a great job of, again, breaking down food, and they create a liquid a liquid, but basically it's worm poo, I guess, and that goes great on the garden as well. Okay, so my questions for you is this. First of all, I asked you the question, what food in your house would you put in a compost bin? My second question for you is, besides food, what else can we put into a compost bin? Okay, I showed you an example of something just a minute ago. My third question is, what would you feed your worms if you had a worm farm? Maybe some of you do have a compost bin, and maybe some of you do have a worm farm. If so, again, send me an email or write it in the comments and tell me all about your compost bin or worm farm. Okay? All right, guys. So those are my questions. Happy gardening. Thank you.